Welcome to the Business with Beers podcast. This is the place where we help entrepreneurs expand their business, build their wealth, and generate passive income. I'm your host, Brian Beers, an entrepreneur who's on a mission to inspire growth from everyone around me. Remember that you need to take the actions others won't, and you can live the life that others don't. Please be sure to check out my weekly newsletter that now drops every Thursday. It includes one quote, one tweet, one podcast recommendation, plus some business and investing insight from me. It's short and it's sweet. My goal is to provide you with just a couple gold nuggets to help inspire your growth. Go to brianbeers.com to subscribe. Hello, everyone. I'm excited today to bring you Cliff Kennedy. Cliff is the CEO of Frios Gourmet Pops, the nation's largest ice pops franchise. Cliff has a great story that you'll hear about going from a Frios franchisee to buying out the franchisor. And after listening to this podcast, if you're interested in learning more about becoming a Frios franchisee, I have a simple request. Go to brianbeers.com/intro to fill out a short form. I will make a personalized introduction to Cliff, plus work with you one-on-one through the entire process. I'll arm you with questions, checklists, references, and that will give you the confidence that you need. Welcome to the show, Cliff.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Excited about the conversation today and, letting everybody know a little bit about Frios.
Awesome. Yeah. So to start, can you give us just an idea of your background? Like, I don't know, 18 years old, kind of what did that look like? And then when did you first get into the popsicle business?
Yeah. So I've been in a family business my entire life. I tell everyone that's where my entrepreneurship came from, that my grandfather started that business out of the trunk of his car with an 8th grade education. He just found a need for safety equipment in the oil and gas world. And so that's what I've always done, been sweeping warehouses and been in sales. And then, everyone has that great story of how they stumbled into franchising. Mine's no different. I got stuck in traffic every day and saw a Frios stand. I kept seeing everyone happy, the kids, the parents. It's impossible to eat a Frios and not put a smile on your face. And so while I'm miserable in traffic, I decided to get one, and it was key lime pie. And I tell everyone, the skies opened up. The colors got way more vibrant. It was a beautiful day. I mean, everything in the world was perfect. It was such a unique experience. And so I kept trying them. And then a short while later, I became a franchisee of the company and didn't like how it was run. And then 8 months later, took over as CEO.
Okay. And what year was that?
2018. So I was a franchisee May 1st of 2018 with Frios. And then December 21st of 2018, I officially took over.
Okay. Now, did you buy it out then or just became the CEO?
No, I bought it out completely.
And the whole thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a hostile popsicle takeover or is it?
No, there's differences between founders and builders and like different stages of companies. And so I think it was just that founder mentality now into the next stage.
Okay. So what did it look like kind of, I guess, when did it start? When did the founder start?
Started in 2016. It started franchising in 2017.
Okay. So you were still pretty early. And what did it kind of look like back then when you first started? Like, what are some of the differences between what it was there and what it is now?
It's a completely different company at this time with branding. When I came into the business, it was brick and mortar. I had actually 2 brick and mortar locations with my territories. And then, we had about 20 franchise locations at that time. Most of them were all brick and mortar. But the difference that for our franchisees versus when I was a franchisee, we were on an island by ourselves. And that's not what you do in franchising. You go into it for the support and mechanisms that are in place to help you grow your business. But we didn't have that. I didn't have a monthly call that was teaching me how to sell or who to sell to, or I didn't our conference calls were, hey, this is the new flavor. See y'all later. Anybody got any news? No, but now it's more structured and support. And we've got training videos and tutorials and lead lists and all these different things to really support our franchisees, be it financials, running through their books and setting up their charts of accounts, support all the way if they got sales calls they need help with, templated emails, flyers, all that stuff. We tell our franchisees now, this is probably the simplest thing you could ever do. Focus on selling a pre-packaged product. We'll help you take care of the rest.
Okay. Yeah. For some context, so it was 20 back then, kind of when you joined, how many do you have today, franchises?
Today, yeah, we have 50 franchisees in 61 territories.
Okay. And do you still operate your territory today?
I think Kirsten would probably be mad if I said I run it, but no, Kirsten. So I'm a completely absentee franchisee. I have somebody that runs the day to day. She sets up all of the events and everything else. So I say she runs it. But yeah, I still own it.
Your name's on the franchise agreement.
Yeah.
All right. And where's that at?
We're in Mobile, so we have all of Mobile County. So that's where our corporate office is, and so it's just near and dear to my heart that we have 2 sweet rides in our territory, actually. So she's constantly got them on the road.
Okay, yeah. So give us like an overview. Like, what does it look like? Let's paint the picture of kind of the lifestyle of a franchisee. What does that look like?
Yeah, so we really look for somebody that has that sales background, that's really involved in their community, because at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're a sales company that you're trying to land the events and go to all these corporate events and parties and everything. So you have to have that outgoing attitude. And if it's not you, find the operator that can run it for you. And that's what I did. Knowing that I was going to be a completely absentee franchisee, I needed to have that operator run my business that is outgoing, involved in the community. So, let's say Kirsten, let's say she's semi-absentee. It's because she runs it for me. A typical day for her is she takes her kids to school. She might go for a workout, whatever it may be. Then she might come do an event at lunch. She might make a couple of calls after that. She might go do an event that afternoon. Or the next day, I've seen her in the office here at 7:00 in the morning because she's got a big event that lasts all day to school. So it just kind of varies, but there's a lot of flexibility that you know what you're getting into with your calendar. And so some franchisees get in as a side hustle. It's the realtors, it's the brokers. A lot of vets are coming into our systems now. They're saying, look, I still want to stay with what I'm doing, or maybe I grow into this in the future. They get someone to help them, or they get somebody on a commission base, but you have that Rolodex, like the college kids that say, okay, can you go work this event for me? Can you go work that event? So it allows you to have that semi-absentee, or if you want to be completely absentee like myself, just find a great operator.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So what are all the events or places that you go and sell these? You mentioned corporate events, like parties, like what else? Like where else can you sell?
Yeah, it's the big corporate events. Think of where the pools are. Think of concession stands. Think of the parks where all the kids are, soccer, baseball, football, all of those. Even go indoors, go to basketball events, go to wrestling events. Those are real big. Another big thing is getting those corporate parties that are out there, or the lunch giveaways, and being involved with, give backs of hospitals. Another big thing of ours is partnering up with nonprofits and saying, hey, look, we'd love to give a portion of our proceeds back. Like, so many people like, oh, that's the easiest thing. Like, for people that have kids, and, we get them all the time. It's like, hey, if you go eat here, they're going to give you 20% back, or buy this candle, or buy XYZ popcorn or something. Frios does that as well. So, hey, send your kid to school with money today, and Frios is going to show up, and every kid gets a pop.
Yep.
And the beautiful thing I will mention, Brian, is, that separates us from a lot of the other brands that are out there. First of all, we never say food truck. So many people are like, well, I don't want to be in food. Well, we're a pre-packaged product. So we're the modern day ice cream man in reality. So all they have is a freezer and a refrigerator. There's no food loss machines to clean up. So our company in Frios has the ability to wholesale as well, which is really big. So I think that's easier to do. So think of the country clubs, resorts, bars, restaurants, all those different types of places that are looking for value add on their dessert menus. And those could be great accounts as well.
Okay. Yeah. What are some of the flavors? They're gourmet pops, right? You mentioned key lime pie. Can you give me like a rundown of your top flavors, and probably make people hungry here? But
yeah, no, the top flavor every year, and I don't think it'll ever be beat, is cookies and cream. Last year was cookies and cream, followed by strawberry mango, followed by blue raspberry, which my son developed himself. But we have all kind of amazing flavors. We just launched caramel cheesecake. I've always said, like, look, key lime pie got me invested in this company and a part of it, but we just developed a white peach lemonade that is absolutely, quite possibly the greatest thing we've ever created. But we have seasonal flavors, whether it be cookie dough or watermelon or white chocolate peppermint, or obviously we have to do the pumpkins during that. But one of my favorites that we do every year is called the candy bar. We usually bring it out around Halloween. It is a chocolate pop with Kit Kat, Butterfinger, and Reese's in it.
Oh my God.
It's not for the faint of heart, but oh man, is it delicious.
I've seen some other ones. I think you had a cold brew one, a margarita, like a mango. I don't know.
Yeah, we got pineapple mango. We've got so many different flavors that it's awesome. We get to create and innovate new things. We even have a pickle pop. Like, I don't like being here the day that those are produced because it doesn't smell very good, but it sells great. I mean, I remember being a kid, like everyone used to go to the skating rink growing up. That was part of my generation. And they had those little bitty pickle pops. And now we make them into, Frios pops.
Yeah. So talk to me about this. So you guys manufacture all the pops there?
Yeah, we manufacture in my facility. A lot of the times I can hear them jamming out with the music through my office walls because they're just having a good time. They're making them by hand and with the passion that they have to create awesome pops.
Okay. And was it always like that? Did you move the facility to there? Like, talk to me about kind of that transition when you bought it.
Yeah, I mean, the day I took the company over, I immediately started looking for a facility in Mobile. So we had to pick up the facility 400 miles, and it was a test of feet with my team that they moved to a manufacturing facility 400 miles from a Friday, and we were up and running on Monday morning. That's how quick it was. We worked our tails off throughout the entire weekend, and we were only missed 2 hours of production time because the inspector was stuck in traffic, and that was the only reason. But we were ready to go within 48
How big
hours.
is the facility? How many square feet?
We're in 30,000 square feet here.
Okay. Then how many people work in the?
It just kind of varies. Sometimes it gets very seasonal, but we have about 15 people here.
Okay. And what's it look like? Do you make one flavor at a time and like 1,000 of them or a couple thousand of them? Like, or does it kind of?
Yeah, it just kind of varies. We have a production manager that operates very, very efficiently, Six Sigma style efficiencies and safety protocols. So it's just like products. It's very efficient. So you might make, 20,000, 30,000 of this pop and then roll into the next one and then roll into the next one. So yeah, it's just very efficient out there in how they produce
and then how do you decide, I guess, what to make? How do franchisees decide like what to sell? I mean, you got like 30 flavors or something. I mean, that inventory management could be overwhelming, right?
Yeah, and so we tell them, look, it's the 80-20 principle as in everything. So, you always have to have your top 5 flavors in there. And then you might want to keep 10 flavors. But if you have 30 flavors on your sweet rod, that's going to be analysis paralysis. They're going to be looking like, oh, I don't know what flavor. So we tell them, look, easy, 10, 12 flavors at most. You can rotate some in and out throughout the season, but that's all they need on their van.
Okay. Yeah. So what does it cost to get into it? Can they finance it? Let's go through some of that side.
Yeah. So, our system is set up that we understand that, we're in that side hustle. We're not that multi-million-dollar AUV. So we said, you know what, let's go ahead and lower this territory fee. Let's let middle America really come in here, develop a business for themselves. So one territory, which is 200,000 people, is $17,000. And if most people now are getting 2 territories, which we discount to 27,000. So that allows them to really develop 2 territories. We have a fixed royalty of $400 a month. So we don't punish their success. A lot of the different brands out there, if you really look into it, every additional asset that you get, it's more and more fees associated with that. But no, we have many people that have a van and they might have 5 or 6 carts. Great. That means that's more money for them. We have a fixed royalty of $400 and it doesn't change.
Okay. And so why did you go the fixed royalty? I mean, most do a percentage, 5% of sales or whatever it is.
Yeah. And so for us, it's obviously I'm vertically integrated. And so we're obviously making money off the pops that we sell to them. And once we realize also we're a very high cash business when you're going to sporting events and everything. So I've also said, look, let's put the money back in their pocket. The more money they put back in their pocket, I don't tie it to their revenue, because that means if I've tied it to their revenue, Brian, I'm obviously always going to be pushing them to do more and more. In our business, we're all about happiness. We sell happiness on a stick. You might come into our business and say, hey, I just want to work a couple of events a week. I don't care about being a big company or anything like that. And I'm extremely happy. You might be semi-retired and just don't want to sit at home. That's fine. That's your idea of happiness. And I'm not going to push you to sell more. I might have the next person that wants to have 3 or 4 or 5 trucks in the future. And guess what they get to do with that money? They get to put it back in their pocket, invest in their business, and they're going to buy more pops. So that's the way we decided to fix it. And that was a massive vote from all the franchisees, and they absolutely love it.
Okay. Did you change that? Was it used to be?
Yeah, it used to be tied to top line revenue, 5%.
Okay. And then when did you change it?
Probably within 3 months of taking over.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so you mentioned the franchise fee. What does it cost all in? What's the range? I know you guys have like a range.
Yeah, so our FDD obviously is a wide range, big delta there of 66,000 up to like 130,000. But that's if you buy the van outright. So give or take some here, very much off the cuff. Let's just say you're doing a 2-territory deal, and maybe we don't require them to get the van for 6 months. So if they just wanted to do a territory, $27,000, 2 territories, and they might be $15,000 in startup costs, so they can get in pretty cheap there. Or if they want to go ahead and get the van's somewhere around $13,000 to $15,000. So then you're looking closer to $60,000
for the down payment, and then you finance
for the down payment of the van to finance it. Yeah.
So if someone just doesn't buy the van, I guess they're getting like the mobile carts and then have a little trailer or something to go to the events. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah. So some people love it and say, because a lot of franchisees out there is like, oh, well, we've sold this many, but only this many are open. So when you become a Frios franchisee, you have the ability to wholesale immediately and get cash flow going. So we just had a new franchisee sign up before even getting his van. He'd already set up and I think he sold like 300 or 400 pops in 3 hours at an inside wrestling event. Like, that's how quick. So you can get that cash flow going. And so maybe say, I want to wait 3 months. Go ahead and get all those wholesale accounts set up. People don't care what you show up in. If it's a cooler or a push cart, whatever it is, get good cash flow going because you're selling happiness. And then maybe 3 or 5 months, you got more money in your pocket for a down payment.
Okay. So how hard is it to get a wholesale? So a lot of people listening to this, maybe they're interested, but they've never done B2B sales. They never sold, to a country club or restaurant. Like, can you walk me through like the pitch or how you coach people to do it?
Yeah. So everything in sales, and you're getting into my secret sauce of how I tell these people this, but it's what we do is saying, hey, you've got all those regular brands that you see, the Nestle's of the world and everything else. Like, we're a cleaner product. Like, we have real fruits in there. We're not putting the yellow dye number 5s in there. So we're a gourmet product. And so that's kind of an easier sell in today's world, especially as you go to country clubs, resorts. We tell people to think of a lot of places that have like member numbers. Those are really easy to get into because they're looking for a higher quality product. Yeah. And so that's how we do it. And it's just once you show it, and the easiest thing our franchisees do, especially when they sign up, they'll buy probably around 1,000 pops and they get our little to-go bags and they'll put the top 3 flavors in there. And then they go to restaurants, they go to country clubs, resorts, say, hey, would it be impossible to try these real quick? No, it'll be tried. Oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. And then they put it on their menu. It's just trying it. It just sells it so much easier.
Okay. And so what's it, what do they buy them from you guys for? What do they cost?
On average, it's around between $1 and $1.25 to us. And then they're going to retail them somewhere $4 to $5. Okay.
And then wholesale somewhere in between that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like $2.50 or $3.
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Like okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the biggest challenges the franchisees face?
The biggest challenge for us is like, so many people that, it's the competition out there, I guess. There's always, and so some people that aren't maybe like really go getter and want to get that sale, sometimes they kind of like, oh, well, somebody's already there. They're not, super aggressive and like pushing them out, but the ones that are very, very successful. And then, I'm just trying to think. It's such an easy.
Is it Kona Ice? Is that like your biggest competitor, you think?
Yeah, they're out there. I mean, they've got 1,500 plus locations. They're going to be at every single event. So they've already got those systems and processes, but it's a really easy fix when they realize, like, I let my kids get shaved ice from time to time, but I'm never going to eat one. It's just not something I do. But if there's a Frios or something like that, that resonates more with adults. And so I think we resonate a lot better once we're doing those big corporate events and everything.
Sugar over ice and versus, like you said, something that's maybe, handmade and natural flavors or natural like food, not even flavors.
Yeah, look, we had a franchisee, like the benefit of ours is like if they did a corporate event, I think the story was they had to give away 3,000 Frios Pops in a matter of 2 hours. That's a tall task. Like, she had to set up multiple lines, everything. No offense, but I don't think there's any other kind of our competitor that can rip off that kind of product that fast, because they all have to make it by hand. They couldn't do an event like that.
Yeah. Man, 3,000 pops is like 12 to 15K in a couple hours. Roughly, depending on what she sold.
Yeah, cool. I mean, sometimes you do deals and stuff like that, so I don't know what the total financials are, but you can go to, a typical night might be for us, going to a high school football game or any kind of like football game sporting event. I mean, there's tremendous amount, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pops are sold. I mean, I went to one of our high school football games with my son. I mean, it must have been 50 to 70 people deep. I mean, we were posting pictures of it. I mean, it was absolutely insane. I actually had one of the school administrators, as I was just giving my son a pop, I let him cut in line a little bit there. And I just happened to be on the van with the girls that were working it. And this guy's like, look, I'm going to buy a case right now because I'm not waiting in line. And so he ended up buying a case of pops and just handing it out to people in the stands. He's like, he just didn't want to wait in line, so he bought a case of pops.
Yeah, that's funny. Cool. So what's your growth strategy? Like, where do you see this thing going?
Yeah, I mean, being at 61 territories, we really feel like we're going to be over that 100 territory mark by the end of this year. I mean, because we're just checking all those boxes of what people are really looking for: flexibility, low cost, light labor, family friendly. They can get their kids involved in it. So our growth strategy is to just put fuel in the fire right now. We've been putting those. Always say the analogy of little sticks build fires, or build big fires. I apologize. But it's like, that's what we're doing. We've got all those sticks in place, and now we're ready to just take off like a rocket ship. So firmly believe that we're just a brand that resonates, this simplicity around it, the flexibility. So yeah, our strategy is to get past the 100 territory mark this year, and then see where it takes us from there.
Okay. What about, I would imagine most are in the South, right? What about the Northeast? I know you have one in Pittsburgh. I know you have one up in, Detroit or somewhere up there.
Yeah, I got one in Detroit and all the way over to Arizona. So yeah, I mean, there's so much prime territory available for us right now. I mean, every time we get a check or anything like that, 9.9 times out of 10, yes, that area is open. So yeah, obviously the Southeast, it takes out the seasonality, a lot of it. But even when it's indoors, I tell everyone, you don't stop putting ice in your drinks. You don't stop eating ice cream in your house and having frozen dessert. You just have to change up our sales strategy. So we're going indoors, we're going inside, and develop it kind of like the Uber Eats does, or DoorDash. Like, we just start doing pop drops with our sweet rides and saying, hey, would you like a 10-pack? Would you like a 12-pack? Yeah, we want some for our freezers for our house.
Yep. Yeah, I know the other angle too, it's like weddings, right? And some parties. I know, and there's a what are they called? King of Pops. It's a competitor out of Atlanta. I'm sure you're well aware.
Yeah.
But one of our good friends used to live in Atlanta, huge fan, and like they got married and they had the King of Pops like cart there, right? And like it was at the wedding as a giveaway and a snack, and I thought it was fun. And I imagine you guys do the same thing, right?
We do all that. I mean, we put our cart up, and sometimes we even customize our carts. They'll ask for customization, so they can now put their hashtag or something of their wedding on there instead of Frios, and that's fine. It's just, when you customize, you make more money. But yeah, we're at the kids' birthday parties. I mean, we have bubble machines now on a bunch of our vans that are out there just to add some excitement and experience to it. So yeah, I mean, it's all of those big corporate events, or we've done retirements. We've done all kind of amazing things with, not necessarily, like you said, focusing on adults and not just always kids.
Yep. Yeah, I think like the mindset of the franchisee, like if I'm thinking about this, is that community builder, someone who really likes kind of getting out there, building relationships. And I imagine if they're at the local high school football game, they try it. They also, the vice president or whatever, the corporation down the street. And then I'm sure there's like this compound effect of, the more you're in a community, kind of the reputation builds, and said you deliver a good, consistent product. I mean, that's what people want. So.
Yeah, it's that referral-based business like anything. You're just wanting to say, give them the best expectation that they can have and exceed it at that point of what their experience like is with Frios, beyond just being a great product. And at that point, that's when you ask for those referrals and you build your book of business and build up that calendar. And so, yeah, it just resonates with so many people, though.
then for you, as I guess is more of a personal question of going kind of from franchisee to franchisor now, like growing this business, what's some of your challenges that you faced like now as the franchisor and growing this business?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just those systems and processes of constantly putting them in place and understand that, hey, I'm a franchisee of 50 people. So that way I need to build up the systems and processes that, can support us to 100, but understand it might go above and beyond. So it's constantly just trying to dial it in, get the systems and processes that fully support our franchisees, because we have all walks of life, but make sure that if you come in and you're great at financials and you're going to run your business financially, is I got to give you the strategies that it's a no-brainer on how to sell. Or if you're the greatest salesperson, you might not be great at your books. So you're going to go call Matt on our team and he's going to walk you through the book. So it's just like pulling that full system of support to our franchisees to let them know that we have their full support of growing their business with them.
So building all that has kind of been the challenge. Probably, I mean, it sounds like almost nothing was kind of in place when you bought in, and then now it's piece by piece trying to figure out, all right, where need people support? How can we figure out a solution, add it, and then, as it continues to evolve.
Piece by piece, brick by brick.
Yep. That's awesome. Cool. So, so I guess where can people learn more if they want to find out more about Frios?
They can always go to Frios Pops, but I'm always going to say, go to you. I mean, the relationship that I've had with you over the last several months and what you've done for the candidates that you've brought into me, anyone listen, talk to Brian, go to that form fill page, let him connect with you. Not only is he going to support you throughout that entire process, he's going to give you the advice that he has and the experience of being in the franchising world. So please reach out to Brian and we'll connect at that point.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Yeah. So you can go to brianbeers.com/intro, fill out the quick form. I can make the intro. And then, like I said, I walk through with you along the way, tools, trips, strategies, all the stuff I've learned, help make sure that Frios is a good fit for you. And if it's not, there's a lot of other options there, but I think you guys have a pretty cool program. I think for the right person, it's an awesome fit. So well, thanks for coming on today and sharing your story. And it's been fun.
Thanks, pal. Talk soon.
That's all we got for this episode with the Business with Beers podcast. One thing that would really help both us and other new potential listeners is to rate the show and leave a comment in iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you listen. Also, make sure to link up with me on your preferred social media platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find all my links at brianbeers.com. Please just share the podcast with anyone who you think might enjoy it. And until next time, remember to take the actions others won't, to live the life that others don't.